Welcome back to Square One, ladies and gentlemen. I am Daradoxmeko, and once again joining me is my good friend Marcus. And Marcus, now that last game didn't go too well for Vuptrox. Anything that we'd like to see them change? Specifically, maybe their jungler? Their jungle pick wasn't the greatest. Anything else?
I definitely think they should pick an early game jungler here, especially as you're playing against someone who is good at invading. Playing against someone like Varte, who plays things like the Nunu that I've earned. They're really interesting picks, what people don't know how to play against. So
it's either feast or famine when you pick them. You're either really good at them or you just run it down.
Very true. And so I definitely expect an early game jungler, and I expect something to be able to control more aggression in the mid lane, like a control mage. I don't expect a Aurelia pick. We know the Anivia is going to get banned, so I expect that definitely to be changed by them.
I know that you like the pick of the Rise. So do you think that maybe Toxi will pick up the Rise for that mid lane? Something, a control mage, like you said?
I would like the Rise just because I still think he is good right now. He's still a very good flex, and he does actually pop off in team fights a lot easier now because the E just bounces instantly. So you can get the EQ off and still do like half HP of an AD carry. So it's a very dangerous pick. I still think it should be picked. I don't think they should show the Mordekaiser again. It was a good pick, but they didn't have any pressure to back it up. So with that being said, I don't think they should play around a Mordekaiser pick.
Yeah, it kind of fell flat for them, unfortunately, but they have to try and prove themselves now against Black Rose, the top of the table, 4-0, the undefeated team of the league. It's going to be a tough ask for Vuptrox, but we're kind of, half-heartedly after that last game, believing in them a little bit as the underdogs of this game. But on the other side, for the Black Rose team, is there anything that you'd like to see them pick up or specifically draft?
I think literally what I said to you in pre-game draft, I think they want to bait Vuptrox into picking Sejuani. If they do, they're going to pick the Trundle, and that Sejuani's life is going to be hell. They are
Especially if he goes to Aftershock.
Very much so. They are really aggressive with the way they play. Their support has so many strong picks right now. They have Yuumi, they have Lux, they have Karma, they have Nautilus. You've got to ban one of these, and then all of them are left open. There's still a Morgana open too. I think you're going to see Nidalee on Ahri. He'll be playing the supportive Ahri build. He'll be playing Glacier Augment and just be looking for those flanks, looking for them slows to like aid his team and get that engaged and just be annoying on the sidelines. The main thing what I'm curious about is the top lane. What are they going to pick in the top lane? The top laner is most played is Renekton. After that, the next closest is 16 games on Hecarim compared to 113 on Renekton. So it's a very big difference. So it's going to be interesting to see if Renekton gets banned away and what he will pick if that's banned away.
If it does get banned away, I'd love to actually see that Lee Sin that he has as his pocket pick. He plays a lot of Lee Sin, but that's not a pick that we normally see in the top lane, not in Master anyway. You might see that in like the dredges of bronze or silver or maybe even iron if they're, happy enough about the pick or they find that pick fun enough, but not really something that we see a huge amount anywhere else. So I'm not really expecting it to be picked, but I personally I like to see Lee Sin. Lee Sin's a fun and interesting champion to cast.
Yeah, very much so, but I don't think we're going to be lucky today. I don't think we'll see him come through.
Just trying to ruin my hopes and dreams there, Bears.
Very much so, but I think I'd love to see a Yuumi bot lane, a Yuumi Ezreal, considering
so safe.
Is most played is Ezreal. And that combined with a Yuumi is the most obnoxious thing to deal with. It can be so much pressure, even with a Kai'Sa too.
We've seen a lot with Sivir as well, but Sivir is one of top tier AD carries at this point.
I expect Sivir to be banned. I don't think Sivir will get through. In any game, you should really always consider in your head, no matter what, Sivir is priority. She shouldn't be left through.
Well, we are into Champion Select. We'll see how our pre-game talk will pan out in the real world and see what the first ban will be on the side of Black Rose. It will be the Anivia. Not really surprised about that one.
No, not at all. I expect that to come straight through. And then we've got to consider the looks and everything else now. The Nunu ban is standard. You don't let Varte get his Nunu. He looked so impressive in terms of his win rate.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you want to trust yourself against that yet.
No, especially if you don't have that much experience playing against a master tier Nunu player. So, you kind of have to go to a little bit of comfort yourself as well, and they're just gonna keep banning out Varte, taking away his top 2 champions, the Ivern and the Nunu, and the Vladimir being taken away from Toxie.
It's exactly what I said. Those 2 champions, if you don't know how to play against them, are so hard to play against. It's feast or famine, but if you're good at them, there's so much pressure you can cause with them champions. I do expect either a Sivir or a Lux to be picked up here. I personally would go with a Sivir, but we will see in a second.
Yeah, we'll see in about 12 seconds time where they want to put their early priority in their first pick. They can maybe take away the Rek'Sai from Krant if they want to, but it looks like they will be going with that Lux, another power pick, another flexible pick as well.
Yeah, I think you see the Lux more priority just because it's a flex pick. She is quite good into Sivir because you can pop that spell shield with one ability and then use the other. So you could waste your E on it and then bind her. I do expect the Sivir to be picked here by the opposite team, but if they don't, it's what is your answer into this?
Looks like it's going to be the Pike. That's the answer, and the Sejuani for Krend. Interesting to see if he can actually pilot that better than the Karthus in the last game. Hopefully he can.
I'm expecting the Trundle straight away. It's exactly what I said in pre-game. Expected the Trundle just to be the straight counter, and it is. It's going to cause so much pressure to the Sejuani. She has to jungle away from the Trundle. She has to stay away from him as much as possible. And it's going to be interesting to see if she still goes Aftershock and goes into minus resistances. Is she going to go Fleet Footwork?
We actually have seen in some of the pro leagues the Sejuanis against the Trundles going with Halo Blades instead, just because of the minus resistance you get from the Trundle ultimate onto your Aftershock.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You'll be able to get that stun off almost instantly. And now we see the Renekton pick going through the top lane. I don't know why this wasn't banned. Because
no Lee Sin. I'm disappointed. But it'll be the Renekton, the much more normal pick, the much more meta pick, and we'll see what they respond with. That Pike can go literally anywhere, but expecting that to be in the hands of Tilthproof.
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. And we've got the Poppy answer into Renekton, which generally you can cause a lot of pressure early game, but Renekton, when he gets Spear Shojin and Black Cleaver, it's really hard for Poppy to do a single thing. Sure, you can block one dash.
Have to see how Rundown pilots that Poppy, and the Sivir being taken away eventually gets banned away by the side of Vuptrox, and that means that McFreeze won't be getting that in his hands. Ari also taken away. Ezreal's still alive, awake, and available.
I don't think we'll see the Ezreal this game with them having 2 mega tanks on the side of Vuptrox. Sure, you I mean, I understand partly because there's so much poke with an Ezreal look, but in teamfights, it's very hard for Ezreal to actually melt these tanks.
So what were we expecting maybe to be in the hands of McFreeze or even Retromaster?
I think Kai'Sa. 100%. Like, Kai'Sa's one of the strongest ones still open. There's still Vayne on the table too, which could be picked by McFreeze, but I think Kai'Sa's priority here.
Well, as the timer starts to tick down, it will be the Swain that gets locked in instead in the hands of Toxie in the middle lane, or they can have Poppy in the middle lane, as you said in the last game, is a response to picks like the Aurelia to try and shut her down early, and Swain can then flex to the top lane, or they can go of the old metas where they have a control mage in the bottom side in the hands of Retromaster. We'll see in the next minute or so where that Swain will actually be going, as the next pick will be locked in. It will be the Caitlyn.
It could still be that Swain Pike bot lane. It used to be a very notorious bot lane, very hard kill pressure bot lane. Still a possibility.
And the Caitlyn now similar with the Lux Morgana. With the Caitlyn Morgana, it's very similar with the Lux Morgana. Once you hit a light binding, you're gonna have a very hard CC'd AD carry or hopefully squishy target that you can get your trap down and just blow them up almost immediately. And now Rumble gets locked in. That could be a Rumble in the middle lane. We've seen it before in pro play even, and it can do a tremendous amount of damage.
I think it's 100% mid lane. Right now, Rumble mid lane is the most sleeper OP pick. Everyone is playing it right now in terms of like pro players and careers absolutely spamming it. All you do is you keep that constant pressure in mid and you're able to roam to that bot lane and literally just throw your ult down. It causes so much pressure and it's just as soon as Rumble disappears off the map, you have to consider he's in your lane.
Mm-hmm. Would you maybe rush Rylai's for that so that you can get your red carpet down, get a slow there as well? Or what would the kind of build that we'd be expecting for that be?
I think you still just go Leandris, just very standard, because you have so much 1v1 pressure with that Leandris, the percent health damage, and just the 1v1 potential. People always underestimate the 1v1 potential of Rumble, and especially with him having Ignite. Him having Ignite in mid lane.
Well, I seem to have a little bit of a connectivity issue with the Discord once again, but we will be going into the game in just a couple of seconds anyway. Well, about a minute's time so that we can get this underway. And where are we expecting this early pressure to be coming out from the Trundle and the Sejuani in the first few minutes of the game?
100% top lane by Trundle, because Renekton is notorious for easily being able to set up those ganks. He's very easy just to get that empowered W, and that's more or less a free kill. If he gets the empowered W, Poppy is dead 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2v2 of Renekton Trundle, I do think is stronger. Unless Poppy gets a really good wall stun, I do think Renekton and Trundle, will win that. And not only that, actually, that I mentioned the Rumble will always have that lane pressure. He will always be pushed up. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Sejuani jungles around this Trundle pick. I expect her to start red buff to be able to jungle away from this Trundle and not interact with him.
So looking to set up a vertical jungle there from Krent there and try and make his way around the jungle without running into the Trundle. Would it be okay for him to run into a Trundle pre-level 6 so that he doesn't have the subjugate available and put him into the minus numbers?
I think it entirely depends on where lanes are being pushed. Because I don't see you getting any push in bot, because Swain takes up a lot of mana early. He's going to struggle to wave clear against Caitlyn Lux, especially in the early game. Rumble, naturally going to push against Corki. So, honestly, you just want to be farming a Sejuani. Just trying to stay away from that Trundle, because your lanes are not going to have as much pressure, especially in the early game.
So what's the win condition coming out from the side of Vuptrox? It feels again like as if their composition is a little bit on the back foot here. We have an interesting bot lane in the Swain Pike, but are you just waiting for the Corki to get to that 3-4 item power spike where he can just start to shred through people? Or like, what's your win condition from the side of Vuptrox?
I do think it's a Corki. As soon as he bases for that package, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes with it. I think your target should be the bot lane, because if you do get that bot lane rolling, Pike and Swain can do a lot of damage. They can snowball really hard, so it's not like that's not an option. Top lane, it's just going to be them slapping each other about. There's not going to be much happening there at all. So it's just getting that Corki to them items, getting that Trinity Force, getting that Rapid Fire Cannon, and then seeing where he goes from there.
Once again, it just feels like as if Black Rose have the better composition, like as if it's perhaps the easier to execute sort of composition, because you have the Rumble, as you said, has that perma push in the middle lane. Trundle can just keep ganking Renekton top lane. Poppy, once that flash is blown, has no way really of getting out from anywhere. You have the Trundle pillar as well, just for the slow. You don't even need to go for a full-on engage just yet. Just wait for the shield from the Poppy, the block from the Poppy to go down, and then you can just go in with the Renekton. There's just so much that you can do from the side of Black Rose that it's so hard to play around from Vuptrox.
I feel like Black Rose did hard outdraft this game, because with that Rumble, it also adds to your siege pressure. And he does actually go with a comment, but when you siege him with a Rumble, it's just that constant threat of, is that Rumble ult coming down? Is
Mhm.
that gonna zone me off defending this tower? You can't do dragons against a rumble. You can't do barons against a rumble. It's just so much pressure of a rumble being in the game.
All on that one simple pick, but at least it's a Cloud Drake. That's the first Drake of the game, so they have that in their back pocket. They don't need to really worry about the early team fighting, about the objectives. But we are onto the Rift for the second game of the night, and because EUS Anonymous did FF against actually CBA, we are with Black Rose and Vuptrox Academy instead. They're gonna go for a 5-man spread. It looks like keeping things pretty standard.
See, this is interesting. I would have liked to seen an invade from Vuptrox because you have a Swain. Swain starts E all the time because it does the most damage and it's just really reliable. And with starting at E, you have a pipe what starts Q. I feel like you have such a good invade tools if you took it. And in terms of like Trundle level 1, he's not going to do a single thing. So it's very interesting that they've gone just for the standard 5-point instead of invading here.
It looks like actually they might want to try and catch out the Swain and the Pike in that bush if they can get a light binding, get a trap down, something like that, and actually gotta edge their way forwards here. And Lucent Singularity comes down as well. Retromaster gotta take a little bit of poke here, but Heats isn't really gonna do much apart from that and just gonna fizzle out. But I'd like to keep an eye on the matchup between the junglers here because of Krend taking the aftershock. So once the level 6 is hit by Farte with the subjugate, he is going to go into minus numbers with that aftershock being procced.
It's also interesting to note that Swain didn't start a single ability there. He could have took his Never move and just got a free stack there and healed back, because when you do get stacks, you do heal a bit on the Swain. So he would have healed back up, but I suppose he doesn't want to waste the mana at all here, and just walked away.
And I actually really love that Corki skin. It's just like the Corgi. Usually you'd see them like wiggle their butt in the middle lane just for a little bit of BM, but I just really like that skin. It's a really interesting skin.
Also, just a note here, the Swain did start Death's Hand, which is his Q, and not his E, so that is very odd to see.
Yeah, lacking a lot of range from that.
You don't often see that started at all. Now you see the standard mid lane, just both trying to push each other in, and Corki does have that early push.
And not much gonna happen in this early portion of the game, the first maybe 5 minutes, and Flame Spitter gonna do a lot of poke damage back, but the auto attacks will just trade back so that it's pretty much even between Toxie and Niddlelift. Lucent Singularity just getting the early push from the side of Black Rose, which is what we expected in the bottom lane here. And otherwise, it's just pretty even across the map. Maybe 2 or 3 CS differential between each lane opponent, and just keeping things pretty normal.
You see also the standard start by SQ1. Like I said, she starts a red buff and just tries to jungle away from that Trundle. She doesn't want to interact with him at all. And now we see Deluxe getting caught
He's
here.
taking a lot of damage. Actually took a tower shot there, pulled back by the Bone Skewer as well, and that was just a good never move, and he just kept chaining that CC.
Yep. This is this lane. As soon as one bit of CC hits, you can hard chain on someone. And if Lux doesn't have that Ignite, when that Ignite goes down, if she doesn't have it for that Swain ult, it can be really hard for them to actually kill them.
Never move into the Bone Skewer once again, but first blood comes through for Black Rose. The heal gets used, and Heats is on the run, but he'll be taken down by Tilt Proof there. And looking for a second as the Flay of the North comes down to Permafrost. Gotta be stacking, but in comes the Trundle from the side. He has the pillar available, will get used just to block away Tilt Proof, make sure that he can't come in to help as McFreeze flashes away, almost takes down Krent, flashes forward to secure the kill. The flash from Retromaster just does nothing to help out his jungler, and they're gonna trade back the kill.
That was really smart pathing by Varte. He got there late, sure, but he did stop anything else happening and then being able to kill that Caitlyn and put her out of that lane for a bit. It really matters that he was able to do that at that time, so it's actually so important here.
Also importantly, McFreeze is the one that picked up the first blood there, so Back was able to pick up the BF sword. Tilt Proof takes a lot of damage. Bone Skewer not going to connect here in the bottom side. Just going to use the Phantom Undertow just to get away.
And not only that, to mention is, like you said, McFreeze got the kill. So he's coming away with still more gold than the Swain did there. The Swain died, he only got an assist, he didn't get a kill. So is so worth it by the side of Black Rose, and so well done.
And now that gives them added pressure in the bottom side, gives them that huge amount of damages. They were winning in the poke fight anyway, so this is really not going to help out Retromaster and Tiltproof in that bottom side. And as you said during the pregame, while we were off broadcast, I really hope that Tiltproof is just that, is Tiltproof. He has a kill on him now. He has to be one of the major carries for his team. Help Toxie carry with this Corki pick. Going for the late game sort of scaling sort of build as well with the Cole.
Yeah, it's very much kind of standard these days. You'll see Cole picked up on nearly every first base by Corki just to get to that Trinity Force / Infinity Edge, Essence Reaver, Rapid, whatever you want to go second. People do mix it up. There's a lot of different variations what people like to do.
What we're expecting of him in this game, would we be expecting perhaps a Hex Drinker because he's against the AP damage of the Rumble?
I think he actually will skip the Hex Drinker till later. I think until Lux gets more AP, I think he'll ignore it. Because obviously Lux is going to go Fiends first. So it's not going to be as much damage from that. So I expect the Trinity into Rapid. And just kind of standard from there really.
We'll have to keep an eye on his itemization there, see how he chooses to progress as he's stacking nicely on that cult. And we actually missed out on a pseudo gank from Krend in that mid lane as the red carpet was put down there, and still trading in favor of Nidavellir in this matchup, and it just helps that he doesn't need any mana from this Rumble.
It's interesting to see as well in the bot lane, the Swain is so far behind on CS already. He's unable to clear these waves, he's unable to grab these CS without being hard harassed by the bot lane. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play around that, because this Caitlyn is getting strong.
She definitely is, and that's not what you want when you have such a low mobility sort of team. You have the Arctic Assault from Krend on the Sejuani able to dash in, you have the Ghost Water Dive, the Phantom Undertow from Tiltproof, sure, but besides that, you don't really have that much mobility.
No, not at all. And it just comes back to them like moving that Rumble down there with the Trundle. And then what can you do about that? Your Swain's gonna die. Your Pike might get out if he's slippery enough. But even then, you're gonna lose a tower off this. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they're able to do, because the lead's just getting bigger and bigger here.
Just easily zoning them away from this farm, away from this wave, and he's down by 20 odd CS now, and maybe even a little bit more than that. And you have to think about the XP disparity between these two lanes as well, because they both reach level 6 almost from the side of Black Rose, and you don't have that nearly fast enough from Retromaster and Tiltproof.
Stern, you see the Lux getting caught, but she takes next to no damage from the Aftershock.
Well, we say that one tower shot, 2 tower shots, almost going down here, will not hit the life binder to get the Aftershock proc once again, flash away, one more hit will secure it, trade it back, McFreeze picks up a second kill here, that's a second kill for Tiltproof as well, but you're going to have to rely on Pike scaling versus the Caitlyn scaling.
Yeah, it seems like I spoke a little bit too early there, but the Lux shield was more than enough to keep her alive long enough to get the trade over. And that's just really worth it, because Caitlyn's getting more gold again. She got another kill. Sure, the Pike got the kill on the Lux, but that doesn't matter as much as the Kate getting the kill here. Like, this is so worth it by the side of Black Rose.
Definitely is. 1,300 gold, a full BF sword above Retromaster now, McFreeze's. And he has 2,100 gold in his pocket right now. However, he decides to use it on his next spec.
Yeah, the Caitlyn's got nearly a 700 gold lead already in this bot lane, and that's only going to get bigger.
It's really not working out for Vuptrox this game, and we had such high hopes for them with their last game not going too well. We hoped that they do so much better this game, and it just feels like as if it's kind of falling flat once again.
And what's interesting to note, this Trundle is following the Sedge. Wherever she's gone to try and make something happen, Trundle has been there. He's constantly been protecting his bot lanes. The Sedge can't even make anything happen here. And It's just gonna get worse. The Trundle is just mirroring perfectly, and the Sedge cannot do a single thing.
And he's up on CS as well. He's 600 gold up on Krend here. And with the Aftershock being taken by Krend as well, there's literally nothing that he can do versus Varte.
Yeah, very much so. And the Caitlyn is coming back to lane with Infinity Edge over a Catalyst. That is a big problem.
I don't think it takes a big brain to know who's going to win in this lane right now. Even with taking a couple of tower shots just for good measure, I'm pretty sure it's going to be in favor of Black Rose.
We have a 30 CS lead almost by the Caitlyn, and she's not even back for this wave just yet. She's just literally got back. So it's gonna get worse for me.
Misses with the ultimate there. Red carpet comes down as well. Krend takes a couple of tower shots. Will be taking down with the ignite, securing the kill. Nidavelft picks up his first kill of the game.
See, this is what you don't expect from a Rumble. You're not used to seeing a Rumble with ignite and not TP, and the ignite pays off here.
Well, another team fight is going to break out. Toxi going to try and Valkyrie over the wall, but not going to be able to make it. Flashes away, still goes down. Flash away from Tilt Proof as well. He's going to go down. Eventually, Ace in the hole comes through, securing the kill, and Black Rose 6-2.
And this is just about to get even worse. We've got the Herald going down in mid lane, so there's going to be so much gold traded over to Black Rose. And we see the Renekton trading really hard onto that Poppy now.
Almost a kill in the top side. Lightbinder comes out, loosened Singularity, couple of auto attacks, just gonna go golden with the trap underneath. One more auto attack with the headshot will secure the kill onto the Swain. Didn't even get a chance to flash.
I think even if you do have flash here, you just kind of accept it. If you flashed it,
You could have flashed the Lightbinder.
you could have, but he chose not to, and now he's dead again. The lead is just going to get even bigger. That's a 4-0 Caitlyn. She is sitting on 1.7k gold right now. So
Just back, pick up Berserker Greaves, almost can pick up a Zeal as well on that back. It doesn't feel like as if it's going particularly well for Vuptrox. They tried to change up a little. They changed their bot lane to a less conventional sort of bot lane. They picked a more meta jungler, more meta top laner, let's say, as well. It's still not working out for them.
I still would have liked to seen a control mage in the mid lane here, but instead they kind of just went for the Corki. It's kind of interesting to see, but I don't think that's what you needed in this sort of game.
He almost has his cull finished, so he'll get that 350 extra bonus gold. He'll be able to pick up his Sheen. Actually, he has a Sheen with it. I should say he can pick up a Stinger with it and almost complete his Trinity Force. He's just waiting to hit these power spikes, and he's just not hitting them yet.
It's interesting to see that not much attention's been shown towards the top lane right now. They're both gone pretty even, but the Renekton's been coming out favoured on trades. Right now, see the Poppy being traded onto.
Yep, just gonna knock them away with the Keeper's Verdict, and not really gonna be too scared about it. Kind of tanky at this point with the Bami Cinder, not too tanky just yet, but the lane swap, pretty normal to see at this point as well.
But we do kind of see a slow reaction by Vuptrox. They are a lot later to this lane swap, and they're gonna probably just lose tower straight up here.
Lose a lot of pressure in the very least. Toxi gotta be roasted alive a little bit there. Lightbinder connects, so does the ultimate. Goes in with the Arctic Assault. Do they have enough damage to try and take this team fight? Solar Flare comes out as well. McFreeze is going to be the target, but in comes a teleport from the side. The Renekton doing so much damage. Double kill comes through for Varte. They're gonna tower dive this for days as Caitlyn picks up another kill. Jungler no gangs should be going down to this tower shot, and he will, but they'll give him up as a sacrificial lamb for 4 kills.
Really good TP reaction by the Renekton, but I think that was a very optimistic fight to take by the side of Vuptrox, because if you're not hitting Caitlyn, you're not going. You hit a Lux, sure you got Lux, Lux got out. Nothing happened after that. That should have been the end of it, but instead they hard committed and they lose a lot more than what they would have gained.
Trying to bait in Toxi here. With Varte off to the side, Toxi could be in a bit of trouble. Has the ultimate available from Nidavelft as well, but doesn't have the slow. Out comes the pillar for a nice slow. Use the package to get away. He doesn't want to try and tango in this 2 versus 1.
And what's interesting here is we've got literally Leandries on base for Rumble. So that's such a massive power spike, and it's just going to make this game even harder. Sure, we've got the Trinity Force on Corki now, but I don't think that's going to be able to compete with how strong the Caitlyn, the Trundle, and Rumble is right now. And we see Lux even working towards that second item before Pyke even has one. He only has his support item right here.
Well, we're coming up to the 15-minute mark, so let's zoom out a little bit while we have a little bit of time. And they're reaching the 2-item power spikes now on some of their carries. As you said, Leandri's on back for Nidalee on this Rumble. We'll have his Sorcerer Shoes as well, which he's already bought. 2 items now on the Caitlyn. You're building towards your first item and a half for the Renekton as well, so you're starting to hit these power spikes for the side of Black Rose, and you're not really hitting them too much with the side of Vuptrox. You have your Trinity Force finally on Toxie on the Corki, but you're not really hitting too many others.
Yeah, very much. And we see something going on in the bot lane now.
Yeah, Red Carpet comes out with the Equalizer. Nidalee in a little bit of trouble. Permafrost will stun him up underneath the tower, but they're not going to chance for the tower dive just yet, and it'll just fizzle out.
It was a nice attempt by Vuptrox there. It was actually a really good thing to do by them. It was the only sort of window they had open to do something, and they tried to do something, and nothing happened. But it was a good attempt. Somewhat more positive from them in this game.
Yeah, close with the cigar, and now has the Glacial Prison available if they want to try something once again. And just trying to clear away some vision here. Will successfully do actually. Color will sway them a little bit. Kren, nope, will not get caught out here. Almost got caught out overextending, but just sniffing out a little bit and knew that he couldn't really go into his own jungle too much.
So right now, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from this. It's going to be, are they going to play for more picks? Are they going to try abuse that Rumble with no flash now? Because right now, Black Rose can literally 4-1. Renekton can kind of beat anyone right now. And Caitlyn's mega strong. She's 2 items to sway into 1. And she's going to get even worse.
2 items with 1500 gold in the pocket as well, so can go back, pick up a BF sword if she wants to, build towards literally anything that her heart desires. Depends on how she wants to itemize at this point. And 1 item, if you're lucky, on Retromaster has that Rod of Ages that's starting to stack. Dark Seal, not even really going to talk about that too much because it only has 2 marks on it. And it's just going to dodge away from all this. He has his happy shoes on.
Yeah, you're not catching this Lux today. Some nice side steps, and there's just nothing coming from it. They're constantly committing for a Lux, and she's not even a priority in this game. She's doing a lot, but she's not the one you need to be focusing a lot of your efforts into, especially as SQ1.
Looking for a pick here in the middle lane as well. They're actually going to start grouping up as a 5-man unit. Actually, now sending jungler, no ganks up to the top side to respond to rundown, pushing down that lane. But the rest of them are just going to push in this middle lane. And Corki finally starting to respond to it as Filespark comes out with Loosened Singularity. Lose the shield, but off to the side, in comes the Poppy. Can they have the damage here? Red Carpet comes out with their Equalizer, and they're just shredding, burning the side of Vuptrox to death. Retromaster will be going down, and so will the Corki off to the side. They're just going to take down 4 of them quick and easy as death from below. Will not do anything. Ace in the hole, going to be a little bit of follow-up, but he'll manage to get away. They're onto the tier 2. They're going for the siege.
They should easily have an inhibitor here, and they might even be able to get even more off this. You see the Renektons pushing the top, so they're going to get inhib, should get another top, and they might even just go for another inhib off this, but I think that's a little bit greedy here.
Just a little bit greedy. Baron will be up in a minute, 5 seconds, so they might want to put their eyes on that and try and get some vision around this objective in the very least, and Ocean Drake will be up in 50 seconds as well, so 2 neutral objectives up for grabs.
I think the next thing is just going to be the Baron play here. They can literally just do the Baron straight up. If they try to react, they throw down a Rumble, they turn, they fight, and that's all I think what should be here next. Like, we do have the Dragon coming up slowly, but I just think it's the Baron play, and I think it's the game off that if they get the Baron.
Right, let's start talking Vuptrox here. What can they do, if anything, at this point? I know I said this in the last game, and it felt like as if there was nothing they could do. is there anything they can do besides maybe a miracle steal of this Baron?
I think if they do get a really good SQ1 ult onto the Caitlyn, it could make a big play for that team. But the Caitlyn's positioned really well, so it's really hard to actually ever catch her because the Lux has always been in the way. And not only that, the Trundle just melts your tanks. So the only thing you can pray to do is catch that Caitlyn. That's the only thing right now.
Just setting up around this Drake as well. Red buff donated over to McFreeze, and they're just gonna actually go onto this objective. Middle left, gonna dodge from almost everything, but Permafrost will lock him down. Death from below, not enough to get the execute. He'll survive for a little bit longer, but eventually goes down to run down. And now Varte looking for the follow-up here. So is Jungler No Ganks. He gets the flash out the Swain here. Arctic Assault trying to get away. He's just chasing them away. 1 versus 3. Subjugate was put down onto Rundown. Pillar will buy him a little bit of time for the follow-up with the stun. Jungler No Ganks just helps him to try and get away. Pops the Dominus. Can they go for further follow-up here? Gets the Valkyrie away. Rundown eventually will go down to Jungler No Ganks. And McFreeze off to the side, burning down a little bit, taking a little bit of poke as well from Toxie, and it feels like they're just going to go onto the Baron.
They also have a level difference on the Trundle, so they could have went for the Baron there, but they choose to just go safe.
Ocean Drake instead. This is kind of bizarre.
It's just the safe option to go for here. There's no reason to risk a 50-50, especially when you've got such a consistent lead right now. So
it feels like with Black Rose being such an aggressive team, I thought that they would just try and bait in the Sejuani to try and go for the 50-50 smite, then go over the wall, kill the Sejuani or force her away, and then go for the Baron. That's just what I was thinking, that's all.
With the Rumble being down, it becomes a lot harder to do so. So it's just a lot more safer just to wait for the Rumble before you go for a play like that.
Well, they're just gonna clear away vision around the Baron anyway now that the Rumble is back up, and it can be free for a 5-on-5. Renekton has the teleport, is in that bottom side as well, so can join the team if needs be, and 1 headshot takes him down to half health, but luckily he has his passive health regen, so he'll be a little bit healthier after that. But just gonna get a free push down onto this tier 2 in the bottom side. It's just all in the hands of Black Rose, and nothing they can do from Vuptrox to try and do anything in this game. Death from below once again will not hit the mark, and have to flash away from the rocket being thrown out by Toxie, but he will get away with his life.
You can see how hard this Lux actually is to kill, and it's just getting worse. They committed so much there and still couldn't kill that Lux, and she gets out alive. I'm sure she had to waste a flash for it, but it's completely worth it as long as you live.
Yeah, you burn a flash for a flash and an ignite. That's pretty worth it. Plus, you stay alive to help out the rest of your team later on for this Baron dance that's being set up.
Now the question is how they're going to play around this Baron dance. They've got the Caitlyn traps already set up. The Lux is being annoying, just getting rid of wards, doing standard things. I thought I was about to have a fight break out, but nothing breaks out here.
Now they're just tempering their aggression a bit, and they can stop Rundown from teleporting top with this Renekton as well, so just gonna stick around, try and keep his eye on him towards that bottom side, and now down to 6,000 health on this Baron. Krend on the side has the smite available as well as the flash. Arctic Assault also available. Just gonna peel away here. They don't have vision of this objective, so I think they're trying to bait him in a little bit here. Arctic Prison comes down as well, and we're just gonna watch the 1v1 on the bottom side instead of the Baron, which is an interesting choice for the directed camera. But Toxie now the target here in the middle lane off to the side. Ooh, so close, but gets the Valkyrie burning down, ace in the hole, not going to be needed as middle left picks up the kill with the equalizer. Demon Flare available for the Swain there, but will manage to get away with the ultimate.
What's interesting to see here is the Renekton has opted towards the Titanic Hydra build and not gone for the Spear. And he's actually losing trades here.
And now he's going to teleport in to help out the team. Still 50-50 smite fight if Krend wants to try and go for it, but Hearts is playing Gatekeeper here off to the side. 6,500 on the Baron, and Jungler No Ganks is going to just force him away.
Really smart play there, just to commit your TP, because it's 100% worth it. As soon as you recall, you can literally just group and siege. I don't think you need to split right now, because as you've seen, he did struggle with that last trade towards Poppy. So it's just better just to group siege. You're gonna have Rumble ult back up soon, and you can pretty much win the game off one rotation.
Just uses the ultimate to take the blue buff, just as a little bit of a gift from Varte there, or it's a little bit of BM and just stole his jungler's blue buff. Either way, as you said, they're just gonna group up in this middle lane now as Jungler No Gangs picks up his Stark's Gauge.
I mean, why not? It's going to be back in 30 seconds for the looks, so it's kind of nothing towards her. And with the Stark's Gauge on Renekton now, it's just going to be even harder to deal with. They've already got enough of a front line, and it just gets even worse now. The Rumble is just going to lay down the ult, and they can literally win off one Rumble ult.
They need to get a desperation fight from Vuptrox here. And I don't think even if they go for a fight that they're going to be able to win any of them. They need to get this sick stacking of Tiltproof's ultimate, try and get all the executions that they need to get done, but
and I think
they've just have so much survivability.
Caitlyn has QSS, so you can't even focus her if you wanted to.
The Glacial Prison goes wide anyway. They're looking for the play of the North to try and get some damage down. Equalizer comes down as well. Final Spark will help secure the kill for Jungler No Gangs. They're just going to secure this team fight win, as well as 2 is already down on the side of Vuptrox. Death from below will not secure anything for them, as that's a double kill again coming through. Freeze is godlike, and they're onto the Nexus towers. They get the ace. They're onto the second Nexus tower. That will be the game for Black Rose. Unfortunately for Vuptrox, they lose their second game.
You see how they just played into the hands of Black Rose's comp, and Black Rose just played really smart around it. They baited the Sedge pick like I thought they would, took the Trundle, and just followed that Sejuani wherever she went. She couldn't do a single thing because of that, and it's just really smart play by them. And I think right now, this is the team to beat. This is the team you need to be watching and thinking, how do we beat these guys? What is our strategy?
Any ideas on how you beat it? Because they're 5-0 now after that win.
It's very hard to say, actually, because I've only watched 2 of their games, and both of their games have gone more towards their favor. So
Anything short of get good scrub.
I mean, that's a possibility, yes. You could say that. But they're very consistent right now. So
they are. Consistency is the key, I think, is the key word. Even went with the Zeke's convergence on the Trundle just to help out his AD carry a lot more. So like playing for the team, Knight's Vow too, so he's not going for a full damage Trundle build, he's going for more utility Trundle build, and I think it's more comfortability playing as a team as well. Crisper communication, and they just seem to be better than their opponents.
Yeah, that's a true statement. And I think if you're Vuptrox today, you need to look at your 2 games and think where you went wrong, and look at your draft a bit more. Because coming into both games without control mages, just stop any attempt of you being able to slow this game down. If you're able to slow this down, you might be able to stop the bleeding. But because you have something like a Corki or an Aurelia, stopping the bleeding becomes 10 times more harder. So you got a few things you could look at today.
Yeah, lighten your champion pool a little bit, Toxie. Not just being an Anivia one trick. That will help you out as well. And we didn't have the Gangplank one trick in that game either. So luckily for them, they didn't get their 2 OTPs in the game and banned away. But unfortunately, as I said, for Vuptrox, they did lose their 2 games today, and it was Black Rose and Royal Reapers that were the superior teams on the day. And that will be it from us for this week. We'll be back next week with more SQ1 action on the Monday. We'll see you later.
See you later.